Okay, the good news is that the pads are on. The bad news is my heart can only take so many injury scares before it explodes. Grossi Posse Packer Nation! Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Don't need to be credentialed in order to get people to watch you, Grossi. And today we are going to be recapping the first Packers practice in pads. The pads are on, people, but of course with that came some injury scares. Before we get to that, I want to do a big shout and thank you to a brand new patron over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. We got, my name is Tom Grossi and I love the Vikings. All hail Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins didn't do too well on Madden last night. Bang, 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 bang. Also, we got Packers should have drafted Chase Claypool up in their subscription to $10 over on patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. So you find yourself in the credits. A big shout out and thank you to the both of you. So yes, the long-awaited first practice with pads is upon us, and then it was over an hour and 9 minutes after it started. Before I get to the injuries, let's talk about Chandon Sullivan, who had a great day in camp, as well as Josh Jackson making a few plays as well. Josh Jackson, a guy that I know a lot of you were very, very hyped upon, a second-round pick in the 2018 draft, who has, as of yet, not really done a whole lot. So we're hoping for big things from Josh Jackson this year, and it's good at least to see him making some reps in camp. In addition, you saw Tim Boyle coming out once again and saying, hey, Jordan, you sit your keister down. I'm the number 2 back over here. Andy Herman would be proud of me. There was a footwork drill today that Jordan Love participated in. This was an area in which Matt LaFleur highlighted that he needed to work on, and oh boy, it was apparent. And again, before all the people come in here and start flipping out, it's just practice, and we should expect nothing from Jordan Love this year. Nothing. Nothing. Just let him sit there. Now, before the day began, Corey Linsley was held out of practice. However, LaFleur said that it was nothing major, so that was a good sign. And then the injuries started to occur. First, you had Zadarius Smith leave early, and the entire Packers nation was like, oh God, this is the end, isn't it? Then you had David Bakhtiari leaving with a slight limp. Oh God, kill me. And finally, you had Montravius Adams carted off the field, in which it looked like it was going to be a significant injury. However, it turns out he just has a sprained toe, so it looks like he avoided any catastrophic injury. Now, talking about each of these players, we don't know the extent besides, of course, Montravius Adams, their injuries. We don't know if it was just let's pull them out for precautionary issues. LaFleur's talked about that, and it's hard to tell based off the context if he's talking about Corey Linsley was being held out because of precautionary issues or these 3 guys were being held out as precautionary issues. So I don't want to report either one because honestly, it's unknown. LaFleur was asked during his press conference how these guys are doing. LaFleur's like, I'm not telling you guys. Like, no. I'm not going to give you injury updates. So we're going to have to wait and see if there is a significant injury with Zadarius Smith or David Bakhtiari. You know, losing Z would obviously be a huge detriment to this team. And of course, David Bakhtiari, yeah, that would be a big woof. Alex Light wound up jumping in and getting some reps behind David Bakhtiari, but hopefully these are just minuscule injuries and we won't even be talking about them tomorrow. And across the league, we're starting to see this, right? So Gerald McCoy obviously is out for the season, was announced yesterday. You also had guys like Artie Burns, the cornerback for the Bears. He tore his ACL, so he is out for the season. AJ Green was held out again today as a precautionary measure, and Nick Chubb, currently the running back for the Browns, is also in concussion protocol. So yes, while it is wonderful to see stories like Alex Smith out on the field and doing well and smiling and still standing on both feet, which is incredible, this is, of course, the reality of the NFL in which injuries can occur at any time. Hence, Jordy Nelson a few years ago in preseason. So as we finished this yesterday saying, listen, a good practice is one without injuries. It seems that the Packers had a few scares. It looks like it shouldn't be a big deal for any of these guys, but we got a few more days of practices left this week, so hopefully everyone can remain safe and healthy. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always send me at TomGrossiComedy.com or TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. Check out Packcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.